Paul, happy Friday. If you're watching this on Friday, I want to jump into this. I'm the founder and president of John Jackson Media. We are really instilling predictability with our clients across the country. But I want to talk about this and the problems I see. We work with boutique law firms, executive coaches, Vistage chairs, high-end professionals that are growing and nurturing a business. And when it comes to growing in all of those areas, here are the problems that I see all the time. First of all, visibility. And so very few people in those categories are marketing and getting out there and being visible. This is the content you're putting out there. This is showing up, being present, and really embracing the opportunity to be, to guide, teach, and help your ever-growing network as you're building up, email lists and LinkedIn connections and, just getting out there in all the places you can is the visibility. And it's a missed opportunity. And this has got to be done right. What most people do is they, when it comes to marketing, they don't have original content. They're sharing other people's content, or they're not doing any marketing. Boutique law firms don't, they're not showing up on social media. LinkedIn, continues to go off as a platform. Your prospects are on there, and they're just not visible out there helping and teaching. One of the big firms I'm highly associated with, a law firm, we have so much content that goes out there, and you're building knowability, likability, trust. These attorneys are very busy, but they are getting on webinars, doing LinkedIn Lives, and teaching and helping, and it just comes back to us in spades. So the whole visibility thing here, excuse me, it is a problem, and so I see that. Also, consistency. And so I see a lot of people out there that are starting and stopping, trying this, trying that, spending too much money on things they don't need. And there just isn't consistency in how they're growing and nurturing their business. There's a lot of guesswork going on. They just haven't figured it out. And a lot of the folks I see are, relying on referrals and networking. Good to do. There just is an augment to that is higher level and not relying on the unpredictability of referrals and hoping that helps you build your business. So consistency, systems, processes, just having a machine is also a problem. And pipeline. So when people come to me initially, I always ask them, what does your pipeline look like? Where is your pipeline? Where are you tracking it? Where do you see it? They don't know. And so this is huge. And all of us, of course, that are needing clients need to have a pipeline. And it needs to be just a fat pipeline. You got to move people through that pipeline. You got to have visibility into the pipeline. You got to organize that pipeline. And so, if I ask you right now, hey, who's in your pipeline? What stage are they in? What are you doing to move them through the pipeline? Do you have a place you can go to track these people, and so forth? What would your answer be? How do you feel about your own pipeline? Start thinking in those terms. And if it's unclear to you and you don't have that going on, problem. So you got to fix that. So these are the problems I see. And here's where we get into the solutions. What you need is infrastructure. We all need this. And once you have the foundational infrastructure, which is about repeatable processes, tracking, things moving forward, it just becomes game changing. And so this gets into, you need a growth engine. And here are sort of my 5 pillars I focus on for clients. What I always talk about, I don't really care what industry you're in or what you're doing. These are things that matter for all of us, is authority positioning. So again, this gets into the marketing, your content, but you want to be the leader and the teacher and the one that people see as someone who knows what they're talking about, as opposed to always talking about other people, sharing, if you're doing marketing, sharing articles and so forth. Nobody cares about that stuff if they're trying to decide whether you're the right attorney, executive coach, Vistage chair. What do you have to say that could help these people? And so when you position yourself as, an authority figure, you start generating interest. And over time, as you do this, you will get people who look at you that way, and opportunities will come your way. You'll have inbound leads that will come your way because you're out there getting visible and you're the authority. And so you just want to dominate your niche. And so anybody that sees you along the way sees you as the expert. So authority positioning is huge. Also, AI curated ideal prospects. So this is a big deal here. And at the last 3 AI conferences I've been at, lead list curation and enrichment is a very big deal. We do this at a very high level with our AI tools, but the point here is you've got to get the right prospects, and it's a battle for everybody. It's very difficult, to get just a solid list, but if you have the right tools, you can do it. And the more targeting you can do for your lead list, the better, because it impacts the language you're using to try to get them interested and get on a call with you. And it's just so many things go into your getting a target list. Yesterday, for some of my own campaigns, I spent 2 hours refining a target list of people that I want to meet, network with, and have conversations and so forth, and for very specific issues. And it was great. So with our tools, you can get very, very targeted, and it helps tremendously. So you've got to embrace tools for AI curation and enrichment. Enrichment refers to getting verified emails, phone numbers. For some clients, they want to see revenue of the business, employee size. We have other clients that are targeting just female entrepreneurs, for example. So you get the point here. Got to have a good prospect list. Then intelligent multi-touch outreach. So this is using AI and having logic built into your outreach. And we get very sophisticated in this manner. And so as an example, when we have an enriched list of leads, so we have these great leads, let's say there's 500 leads, phone numbers, emails, all of that. We will start LinkedIn campaigns to connect and get into conversations, but very quickly, based on the behavior of that prospect to the outreach on LinkedIn, we move it into a growth engine, a CRM growth engine that clients have with multiple touches, SMS, email, calling agents, logic built into this, calendar integration. And so this multi-touch right here becomes massive. And so we just have high-level touches, the copywriting that goes into this, highly personalized for each client in their voice, but it all flows very nicely between all these touch point areas. And it just, it's a flow that's very efficient. So the multi-touch outreach, you got to have. A lot of people just do LinkedIn campaigns. Not a good way to approach it. Not comprehensive. Imagine, if you're getting, let's say 25% connection rates with a lead list on LinkedIn, that means 75% of that list is not getting touched with your outreach. That is not a comprehensive campaign at all. And so you've got to touch them in other places. Then also, this gets into tracking the opportunity pipeline dashboard. So again, this gets back to your pipeline. Do you have a bird's eye view of your pipeline? Do you have a dashboard? Where do you track these things? It can't be, on written paper. It can't be bubblegum and toothpicks. If you don't know what's in your pipeline, who's in your pipeline, what stage they're in, then you're just not in control of your business. You're not on top of it. And so pipeline is huge. We have the AI CRM engine that tracks opportunities, pipeline, and the pipeline cards, opportunities move around based on behavior. in the system. And then you also got to have your automated booking engine. This is important. So obviously when you're doing cold outreach, which we all should be doing, got to do cold outreach. That it becomes a workhorse campaign. But then you have warm outreach, existing contacts. You have a list, people that already know you, connected with you. You've got to convert them to calls or whatever. So you have automated warm booking for people that know you. Then also there's the brand new lead where somebody wants to get on a call with you. And instead of the back and forth, you going back and forth to try to book somebody, we know what happens. They ghost you. It gets so frustrating. You got to set reminders to follow up. It becomes unwieldy very quickly. Is if you have an automated booking engine for that piece too, it's awesome. So what happens a lot with our clients is we start to reach out on LinkedIn, and before they start getting multiple touches everywhere, they'll respond on LinkedIn. Hey, I'm interested in talking. So then I say, okay, reply on LinkedIn, send your calendar link, do it the right way, send a voice message. We have the ability to do that on our LinkedIn dashboard, or send a video message. We have the ability to do that too, rather than just typing a message. But include your calendar link, and then tell them when you reply on LinkedIn, I'm also going to send you an email, because maybe they've left LinkedIn by the time they get your message, or who knows what's going on. And you know what can happen? Now all of a sudden they don't respond right away to book. You're like, oh my God, what happened? And so I say, okay, respond on LinkedIn because they hit you there, and also then go put them in your new lead booking workflow. So now you have multiple touches going out to someone who's interested in talking with you to book a call. So this is huge. So this is just a huge part of what we all need, is an automated booking engine. And I think I want to show you just the last thing here to give you a quick peek at this. And so this is the dashboard, and let me show you in here what the opportunity stage looks like. So here's an opportunity board. This is what it looks like. New lead, appointment not booked. And these cards flow through here, through all the stages we set up and customize for clients. This is the pipeline for this particular individual. This is the pipeline, and you can drag and drop these to certain categories, depending on what's going on. But my point is, bird's eye view, those are the opportunities and how they show up. And if you have that going on, you're just head and shoulders above your competition, and you will win. You will win if you have this infrastructure. All right, couple things. Get my VIP blog. If you text Giant Help to that phone number below, every week I send out to your inbox my best tools, tips, strategies. I'm just trying to help constantly. And so that's how you can get that. And then also around this video, wherever you're watching, you can get booked with me. I think in the summary, I have my link. And then I always put this up here too, is if you want to get booked with me, you can take a picture of that QR code. That will get you on a strategy session with me, talk about your business. So there you go. Thanks. See you next time.